joining me this morning to talk tacos and so much more. CNN political commentator Bakari Sellers, Rachel Campos Duffy, who's the spokesperson for the conservative Libre Initiative, which targets Hispanic voters, CNN political analyst Kirsten Powers, and CNN political commentator Andre Bauer. Welcome, one and all. Thanks for being here. Rachel, I'm going to start with you. Taco trucks on every corner.
So the answer to your pressing question at the T's is delicious.
Delicious.
Definitely delicious. We could use a few more of them up in northwestern Wisconsin, where I live. Look, what I think is really interesting is that taco trucks really are the ultimate symbol of American entrepreneurial capitalism. And I think what people want to know is not what some first-time surrogate bungled. What they want to know about is who's going to help people who want to start taco trucks. And liberal policies have always overregulated food trucks. In fact, in Nevada, we have a former attorney general who was shutting down, who's running for Senate, by the way, who's shutting down Uber. What people want to know is who's going to help people start businesses, let them grow, become financially independent. Liberals overregulate these kind of small business owners, and conservatives help them achieve the American
Excellent
dream.
pivot.
I have never seen spin like that. That was
But it's true.
I give you credit for it. I mean, what we do know is that Donald Trump gave a speech that was full of desperation, despair this past week, and we still don't know what he's going to do. I heard Rudy Giuliani on your show earlier today, and we still don't know what he's going to do with the 10.5 million people who are here who are not criminals. And so, yes, I think that the Republican Party has an awful brand when it comes to Hispanic Americans. And I think that Donald Trump is just perpetuating many stereotypes that are detrimental to Republicans ever growing their base.
Let me ask you a question, because Karen Tumulty tweeted out a story really interesting, I think by Abby Phillip, actually, that Hillary Clinton is actually doing worse with Latino voters now than she was a few weeks ago. According to an ABC News Washington Post poll, her favorability with Hispanics fell from 68% in July to 55% at the end of August. The story also says she's not doing particularly better with Latinos than other Democrats have done. Why not?
Well, I don't know why not, but the most important thing is she's doing much, much better than Donald Trump. And that's the bottom line. His approval rating is 21% in the same poll. So, you know, her approval rating, I'll take 55 over 21%. And I think that she, you know, in this article, they're talking about the fact that maybe she needs to be doing some more outreach, maybe needs to be running some more ads in the Latino community. But at the end of the day, he's underwater and she's above water.
She has had every advantage in the Latino community. And Latino media, Spanish language media, is basically another wing of her party. The reason she's doing bad is Hispanics leave countries where there is corruption on the level that we're seeing right now with Hillary Clinton. I mean, this is a rigged...
Well, I mean, hold on.
Double digits.
I'm saying they're in double digits, but in the last month, as her scandals have increased, that's why we're seeing this drop.
I mean, but she's also hasn't spent any money per se. And
Yeah.
I think we also saw that Barack Obama doesn't have the money to spend, but Barack Obama didn't spend the money until mid-September on Hispanic radio and Spanish television.
I just think it's very important to be clear. She's not doing badly among
just
Latino
not
voters.
better. And
she's, you know, in the USA Today poll, 2/3 of Latinos are voting for her. I mean, that's not doing badly.
Do you think this taco trucks on every corner, as you say, it's a surrogate that very few of us have ever heard of before, but it does feed into kind of this meme out there about Donald Trump. And I don't know that he did himself any favors with his speech the other night when it came to the Latino community. No matter what Rudy Giuliani says was buried in that speech in terms of the policy, a lot of Latinos for Trump quit Latinos for Trump after that speech.
Only two that I know of.
That's still a pretty big group. When you have a group called Latinos for Trump and they leave Trump after his major speech on immigration.
When you're a leader and you take a strong stand, you're not going to make everybody happy. Look, I thought he did an excellent job meeting with the president. It was open to both candidates. Only one showed up. He did a very good job. And I know there's controversy. Well, you know, he acted very differently at a different rally. Well, the president's going this week to the G20 summit. He won't talk to that group like he would to the Democrat convention. So they're two different audiences, but you see the numbers changing. We're getting closer now. It's almost an even race. Labor Day's around the corner. He said he was going to kick the campaign in Labor Day. But the real message is here, look, I like the taco truck analogy. Those are people that are business owners. They're working hard. We just don't want the people here that are stealing the hubcaps.
Except he was saying that we don't want taco trucks. But let's turn to Hillary Clinton because there is another candidate in the race. Take a listen to what Hillary Clinton has been saying over the past year about her emails.
We turned over everything that was work-related, every single thing. Personal stuff, we did not. And all I can tell you is that I turned over every work-related email in my possession.
I've turned over everything.
Let me just.
We now know from the FBI that she did not, that there were 15,000 emails that were work-related, that she did not.
No, that's not. We don't know that. We know that there were 15,000 emails, and we don't know what those emails are. We don't know if they're work-related. We don't know if they're personal. We don't know if they're duplicates.
The FBI says there were 14,300 or something like that that were work-related. They're not sure if they were duplicates. That's true, that they're looking into them, but they say that they are work-related.
They said work and personal, I thought. But regardless, we stay down this rabbit hole and we chase this smoke where there's no fire. We do that. We have been doing that. We've been doing that with Hillary Clinton for a very long period of time. The most amazing thing is this week Hillary Clinton released a comprehensive mental health proposal, and we covered Anthony Weiner. This week we
not irrelevant to the topic, by the way.
I'm pivoting. This is a pivot. But to actually get on the issue, we know that Donald Trump actually had a foundation that was pay to play, and we're back to emails. What we're talking about today with these emails, people are just sick and tired of chasing this smoke where there's no fire.
What's interesting to me is that you just had Jeff Flake on. You just showed this commercial from John McCain. You have people within the Republican Party and the conservative movement who are willing to look at a candidate and be really honest about what his flaws and what his strengths are. And it's so fascinating to me that on the Democrat side, you have this level of corruption. I mean, this is not a small thing. This is somebody who's taking a charity, using it as a front and a slush fund. Yes, it absolutely is.
That's not true. You cannot say that a charity who's actually helped children get HIV and AIDS medication.
And also helped Sidney Blumenthal get a job. But that's not part of the charity.
But actually, tell me this. How much money has Hillary and Bill Clinton gotten from the Clinton Foundation? If it's a slush fund,
a lot.
They have not. They have not.
A lot. They've become millionaires off of this.
They have not become millionaires off the Clinton Foundation.
We already
that's absurd.
know.
And you know why we know that's absurd? Because she released her tax returns. That's how we know they received not $1 from the Clinton Foundation.
Which showed that they made as much
millions of dollars
from
giving speeches.
To people who have given to the foundation. That you will sit here and defend that. To me, just really.
I will defend the Clinton Foundation until I'm blue in the face.
I want to bring you in here, Kirsten, because you have been a Democrat who's been willing to criticize Hillary Clinton. And what do you make of what happened?
Look, on the foundation, I just don't see this pay-to-play argument. It's not. First of all, they don't receive any money. They don't make money off of the foundation. They don't receive salaries from it. So they're actually not making money off of the foundation. It's also been rated by the people who rate the charities.
The people who rate the charity refuse to rate it anymore because that's not true.
They did until this last week. And this week they did give it an A rating.
Rated by the people who, with an A rating. So I think the foundation stuff is being blown out of proportion. The emails, however, on the other hand, I think has become something that a lot of people are concerned about, and I think it has affected her trust numbers, and deservedly so. And she has said so herself.
Andre, I'll give you the last word here. A lot of Democrats feel that these numbers are the distrust stuff is already baked into these numbers, though.
Well, the distrust, you're seeing the numbers continue to drop, and nothing's ever going to happen. 228 people within the Department of Justice have given to her campaign, so you know nothing's going to happen. But again, it just reinforces, if you wonder why you can't get her anywhere to interview her, she don't want to have to lie anymore. It's cover up, cover up, cover up, and we're seeing the numbers reinforced by the voters not trusting her.
Before we go, congratulations on your 8th baby and the christening. Believe it or not.
I'm going to single-handedly solve the Hispanic problem on the conservative side.
If you're wondering why the poll numbers are getting close in Wisconsin, it's Rachel right there.